Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. So, I'd like to talk to you today about the Bitcoin strategy for retirement. And it's definitely not because I am going to liquidate my traditional IRA and now I'm feeling like I should do something to make it up. No, definitely not that. So um, actually, let's go over what a traditional IRA, what the tax benefits of it is. So you put it in and you don't pay taxes on it right away. So it lowers your tax bill this year, but as a consequence, you can't take money out of it without penalty before you're 59 and a half or something like that. And you are taxed on what, like, it grows, like when you get a dividend or a distribution, you don't get taxed on it. Then when you take it out, then you get taxed as if it was income. Okay. So about Bitcoin, well, Bitcoin isn't a tax advantaged account, which means it's kind of like an Roth IRA where the income that you have, it it gets taxed at the end of the year. And because it's Bitcoin and not a retirement account, you can withdraw it at any point without a 10% penalty. The difference is that Bitcoin does not pay a distribution, or a dividend. It'll grow tax-free because there's nothing to tax until you sell it. And I think that's where the traditional divide is, where, okay, but eventually if Bitcoin goes from $100,000 to $1 million and you sell it, then you have a lot of capital gains. Well, I don't think people are going to be selling their Bitcoin in the future. What's going to happen is I bought Bitcoin for $100,000. It went to $1 million. Now I can take a loan against it for $500,000 and left off of the $500,000. Stick the $500,000 into a brokerage account, put a portion of it into high income ETFs, just keep paying the margin on that Bitcoin loan. I never have to sell my Bitcoin. I never have to pay off the loan. I can just live off of it. Bonus points if you actually form an LLC, because if you form an LLC and the business owns the Bitcoin and you take that money as an owner's disbursement, so it's not, and I probably don't have that exact verbiage correct. I'm going to wind up having to do this at some point so I can run it through you how I wound up figuring out how to do it. But basically it's like an owner contribution. Well, not the contributions when it goes in. So like it's an owner disbursement. It's not income. It's not taxes income. But because it's a business and the margin is a loan, the margin that you pay, that interest rate or that interest that you pay is now a business expense. So it's a tax deduction. So it could wind up being more tax efficient to own Bitcoin and do Bitcoin lending when you're retired than just your traditional IRA. What are the drawbacks of this? Well, I happen to believe in Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is a speculative investment. So if Bitcoin goes to zero, then you don't have a retirement. So if I form a business like YieldMight and put YieldMight under a business, because like when I retire in a couple of weeks, it's I was laid off. I don't know when I'm going to get off of the quote unquote bench, which is basically like I don't have a project. I'm looking internally for a project. After a period of time, they'll issue me a lack of work thing and be officially separated after 2 weeks after that. So I'm in the process of being offboarded from my current employer, but after that, I will be retired. So But if I form a business for actual yield might and the projects that I'm working on, then the income I get from that is counted as actual income, because distributions don't count as income. So I cannot actually contribute to an IRA anyways. But what I could do is, as a business, open up a SEP IRA, and all of the income that I get from Yield Might and whatever other projects I have, I could put into an IRA. But that doesn't actually address, like, should I be focusing my energy on buying Bitcoin or replacing my IRA? Because I'll already have paid the capital gains and that 10% penalty. And I think personally, and none of this is financial advice, very much for entertainment purposes only, but I happen to think that Bitcoin has more potential to increase more rapidly than if I had put my money into an IRA. And I still have my Roth IRA. So there will definitely be further videos into the future, like in the future, about my way that I'm going to handle retirement and getting money so that when I'm retirement age, I can, well, I'm already going to be retired for years and years, but it's always nice to do the tax avoidance and not get taxed. Like, as much money that I can hide from the government. Okay, that sounds more illegal than it. None of what I'm doing is illegal, but it just sounds illegal. But like, if you don't want your income taxed as much, you put it into an IRA to shield it from the government so that you can continue to grow your money without it being taxed. So, I just want to be smart with the money that I am making. Being self-employed means that the margin for me is not very large anyway. Like, I have to be very careful with how much income I actually bring in and how I handle everything. So as I have more time, as I decompress, as I figure everything out, I'm probably going to wind up making a business, using the business to buy the Bitcoin. Over time, I should be able to accumulate at least as much Bitcoin as I took out right now, but probably more. And then in the future, I can do that margin loan, and it won't be, it's not really a it's like the collateralized loan from the Bitcoin, and pretty much shield myself and be able to maintain my lifestyle no matter what the emergency happens to be. So life is going to get exciting as I pay off my credit cards and my trailer and my truck and figure out how to refund my retirement accounts. And anyways, what do you think about using Bitcoin for your retirement? And I will talk to you later. Bye.